A couple of weeks ago now, I ran the Bognor Prom 10K. I ran it in 32 minutes exactly, which is just 9 seconds outside of my PB. There was a sprint finish. I finished in the top 2, but did I get the win? Let's find out. Just a quick intro into who I am. My name's Patrick Martin, and in April I ran the London Marathon in 2 hours, 24 minutes and 31 seconds. I'm 42 years old and I've been running for 3 years. So the Bognor Prom 10K is a really nice race. It's a flat course. Last year I ran it in 32:04 and I wanted to improve on that this year. So I thought I'd go and do it again. Apparently it's the sunniest place in the UK. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I read that when I was down there. And yeah, the last 2 times I've been, it has actually been sunny. So, and that's not that easy in the UK. But yeah, it's a great race. Very friendly people, nice organisers. Get some good runners turning up there. It's not too big, not too small. So yeah, I recommend it. I'm not affiliated in any way. I just like the race. It's definitely a good one. I ran the 10K in 32 minutes, which is only 9 seconds slower than my PB. So I was actually pretty pleased with it, especially as it was only 3 weeks after the London Marathon and my legs were not feeling brilliant. I had a lot of niggles in my legs or aches and pains and didn't feel great. I didn't have a lot of energy. So I was pretty pleased with it. My wife and kids and mum and dad came to the race as well, which is super cool for me because they've never come to a race before. My parents have never come to a race. My wife's only been to 2 races.
Go, Patrick, go on! Go! Faster!
She doesn't get into it at all, does she? She's so quiet. Sorry we had to turn the sound down. But it was really good having the support of everyone there, and my kids were there as well, which is brilliant. So as much as she was loud, it was brilliant support, and I was so happy to have them all there. Is Daddy a good runner? Yes. Because I started running so late in life, my parents are still getting used to the idea that I'm a runner and that I run races. And because it was the first race that they've come to, it was definitely a new experience for them, and it was, I think, just a bit strange for them seeing me running and leading a race. But really good fun. The race started really well. I felt good. I felt strong. I went out leading the race. Before the race, I just thought, right, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to lead from the start, use my marathon training fitness and marathon fitness just to go all out and see what I could do. I felt like I could run a good time, even though I felt tired, had a few niggles. I was just like, but I had confidence from running the 2:24 in the marathon 3 weeks before. So I thought, let's just do this. Let's see what happens. It's not be all and end all, but let's go for it. So I led from the start. The plan was to hopefully shake off some of the people who were with me in the first 5K. Sometimes in races, when you go out fast, I find that some people stay with you, but then they eventually drop off. If you've got the endurance and you think you're going to keep going, they eventually drop off and you're left on your own. That didn't happen. About halfway through the race, I think a couple of maybe the third and the fourth guy dropped off, but the guy who was second behind me, he stuck with me. I tried to make a break, I think after about the 4th kilometre, but I could tell he wasn't shifting. He was sticking with me. And then I think around the halfway mark, he tried to make him break himself, and I stuck with him. And I could tell he was trying to do the same throughout a lot of the race, trying to go. And I knew I had the strength to stick with him and keep in the lead. And then we got to about 8K, and this is when it started to hurt, and it always does for me in 10Ks. This is when I start thinking, why am I doing a 10K? I hate 10Ks. And yeah, 10K is probably my least favourite race. But yeah, it really started to hurt. And the guy who was with me was right behind me, right on my tail. And I could tell it was hurting for him as well. I could hear his breathing, and it wasn't a fun race for both of us at this point. And I knew I just had to stick it out and just dig in and dig deep, because this was going to be a difficult one at the end. And as we got towards the end, I was really fighting. I was really digging deep. And like I say, I knew he was too, but it was going to be a tight finish. So we rounded the last corner, and there's a little bit of a straight towards the finish line. I'd say probably about 100 meters, and it became a sprint finish at that point. And I was just hoping that he had nothing left, because I had nothing left. And we both went for it, and annoyingly, he had more than me, and he had just a better sprint finish than me. I've never had a good sprint finish. My legs were gone, maybe from the marathon. Maybe I just don't have a good sprint finish in me at the moment, and I need to work on that probably. But he managed, especially in the last 50 meters, just to go past me. I didn't have it in my legs. So he finished seconds in front of me, I think 6 seconds ahead of me. Yeah, annoying. But when I look back on it, it was a really good race. So well done to Paul for finishing first and just having the strength to outrun me on that last straight. That was unbelievable. Annoyingly for me, I finished second at the Bognor Prom 10K the year before as well. So I was really hoping to get first and get that trophy. Yeah, I saw the guy who won the trophy the year before when I was up on the podium, and I thought, I really want that trophy. I love a good trophy. But I just didn't have it, and so well done to Paul who finished first. It was a really good race. I'll be back next year for sure. The good thing is my son absolutely loved the kids race before the race. He's only 5, but he ran 1.5k with my wife just around the little course there. And when he finished, he said, that was so epic. So he's going to be back too, and I think he's going to want to do more kids races. So I'm glad I'm inspiring the next generation. At least I got a nice little medal. Hopefully you can see that. And a day out at the sea. In terms of the footwear that I wore in the race, I wore these Nike Vaporfly 2s, and I absolutely love them. For racing, they're amazing. You wouldn't want to wear them training all the time, because I think they degrade quite a bit, but for racing, oh my goodness, the cushioning, the propulsion you get from them, for me, they work fantastically well. I wouldn't even want to race without them now. I got them brand new for the London Marathon, and they helped me run a 2:24. So I've got a lot of confidence in them. I had the Vaporfly 1s before, and they were equally as good. These are pretty much the same as the 1s. They've got a slightly different stitching in them, which potentially I think could let in water or rain. Although it did rain in the London Marathon, and I didn't notice any issues with that. I did notice the Vaporfly 1s don't have the holes in the stitching holes, but I don't think that really matters. But yeah, this is my go-to race shoe. It actually looks pretty cool as well, which is always a bonus. So I'm on the bike because I managed to pick up a bit of an injury after the Bognor 10K, or during the Bognor 10K, I think. A bit of high hamstring tendinopathy. I wasn't very clever running 3 weeks, having a race 3 weeks after the London Marathon. I should have rested more. I should have known that. I should have just really cut my running down a lot more than I did in between London and the Bognor 10K. But I've learnt my lesson. Wasn't a clever thing to do. But there you go. Hopefully the injury will clear up soon. I've had it before. It's flared up and it's gone down. I just need to manage it by resting. We're trying to keep my aerobic fitness up by using the spinning bike, which to be honest I really don't like. But it's a means to an end to keep that fitness high. And I'll do it if I have to. Anyway, I don't want to end the video on a downer because it was a brilliant race. I had a lot of fun, really enjoyed it. So thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're at all interested in following my journey. I'll be back running very, very soon, I'm sure. Thanks so much for watching.